In the Draba universe, your worth is a matter of birthright, not effort. Power is not something you achieve. It is a supernatural inheritance granted by a lineage you cannot choose. This pyramid illustrates the rigid ceiling of this society. The top tiers are reserved for the small percentage of the population born with innate magical gifts. Below them, the massive base of the pyramid, the unlit majority, possesses no magic at all. Recruitment is a simple process of identification. Masked recruiters move through villages, identifying the chosen mark in young children. Those with a colorful aura are taken to the lodges for training. For those who don't glow, the door is effectively locked. Without a mark of rarity, you are systemically invisible, excluded from the institutions that govern the world. In this world, the hierarchy isn't built on merit or skill. It is a lottery where the prizes are distributed by blood and supernatural chance. Orrin Kaste was born with a single chosen marker. He was a completely mundane child in a village that looked right through him. While his childhood friends were celebrated and drafted into the lodges, Orrin remained at the edge of the crowd. He watched the recruiters pass him by, year after year, never making it onto the list of the chosen. This left him with a singular reality. Since the universe hadn't selected him for a path, he would have to define his own existence. Orrin's response to being ignored was not to give up, but to self-select. He decided that if no lodge would teach him, he would become his own mentor. His training took place in total isolation. Without magic to guide his hand, he relied on the grueling physics of repetition, practicing his movements for thousands of hours in the forest until they became second nature. He studied how to read the natural terrain and move in complete silence, skills that required no magical spark, only extreme physical focus. Replacing supernatural projectiles with ballistic precision, he mastered the specific mechanics of weight, rotation, and force. Without a magical aura to correct his aim, he manually calculated wind resistance and elevation changes, adjusting his throw before the blade ever left his hand. Discipline and a hard-won understanding of physical mechanics became his substitute for the power he was denied at birth. As Orrin mastered the physical world, he spent his time silently observing the behavior of the magical elite he had once envied. He saw that those born with overwhelming power rarely followed the rules of the village. He watched recruiters ignore local hardships, and saw gifted lords use their magic to seize whatever they wanted without effort. This observation led to a specific promise. He would never model himself after those whose power had made them arrogant. He decided that even without magic, he would adhere to a standard of fairness that the lodges had abandoned. For Orrin, simply winning a fight meant absolutely nothing if it wasn't done through his own skill and observation. His lack of magic turned out to be his protection. Because he had never been given a shortcut, he was never tempted by the corruption that so often follows unearned power. Now an adult, Orrin is an active presence on the combat roster, where he faces opponents who can work reality with a thought. On the roster, he is a statistical impossibility. Every other slot on this grid pulses with high-tier rarity colors, while Orrin's slot remains unlit, labeled with the ordinary rarity. He survives these encounters by using weaponized patience. He knows that his opponents, used to their own overwhelming power, often become reckless. He simply waits for the moment their arrogance creates a physical opening. While his enemies rely on blinding flashes of light, Orrin remains unflashy. He stays in the neutral shadows, using deliberate, quiet movements to outmaneuver the chaos of his adversaries. Every match he wins is proof that physical observation and timing can overcome even the most powerful supernatural gifts. Orrin Kaste operates on a simple principle. You do not need an aura to remain fair, and you do not need magic to be victorious. His presence on the roster challenges the idea that a person's value is fixed at birth. By refusing to stay invisible, he shows that the world's rarity system doesn't account for the power of human persistence. In a world defined by the supernatural, the most unpredictable man on the field is the purely ordinary one.